Hi, I'm Dennis Phillips, and welcome to Everyday Reloading and Shooting. On this target, I'm checking headspace on my rifle. I found out that when I was headspacing my rounds for my Ruger American, those were at 2/1000ths of an inch. But for the Ruger 556, it was considerably off, like 15,000. So I had to get another set of dies, and I readjusted those to where they're 2/1000ths of an inch. The problem is they don't exactly fit the case gauge. They fall in and go plunk and fall right back out, but the case head is not exactly flat with the surface. It's up just the tiniest amount. So I'm going to test these to make sure these feed properly. I've loaded 10 rounds, and I'll be shooting 2 5-shot groups at these two targets. This is just to see how those rounds perform and to see if they're going to jam my rifle. The problem I've had in the past is if a particular round wouldn't fit the case gauge, it would cause the rifle to jam. These have all been sized. They came out of my rifle, so hopefully they will not jam going through my rifle again a second time. All right, so let's see how we do. 25 yards. This is with 23.3 grains of Varget powder and using a 73 grain ELD match bullet. All right, and these all function flawlessly. Let's bring them in and see how we did. Yep, you could cover that group with your pinky nail. Those strung vertically, but that's definitely under an inch, that bottom group. So these all function flawlessly, so I know that that headspace is adjusted correctly. And so we'll continue to size these rounds using that setting on the die. So something that I recently discovered is that the headspace on my AR is very different from the headspace on my Ruger American. I've always thought that I had my cases sized correctly, but I had sized them for the Ruger American, and I have about 2/1000ths of headspace in that rifle every time I size those. But recently at the range, when I was shooting my AR, I had a bunch of split cases, and that is oftentimes a sign of too much headspace. And when I started checking it, I found that yes, there was probably about 15/1000ths to 18/1000ths headspace on some of those rounds, even though the two rounds are identical in their size as far as their specifications. That doesn't mean the rifle chamber is exactly the same. So obviously the rifle chamber in the AR is bigger than the rifle chamber in the Ruger American. So I measured those, and I bought a second set of dies. So I've got one set of dies that I use when I'm loading for the Ruger American, and I've got a different set of dies that I use when I'm loading for the AR. One of the concerns that I had was the fact that if that case doesn't fit the case gauge, I've had problems with it jamming in my AR. But I was thinking about this and it occurred to me, okay, these rounds came out of my AR. If I'm sizing them down and pushing the shoulder back, I'm making these cases smaller than what they were when they exited the chamber of my AR. So I'm guessing I should be okay. So rather than load 50 rounds and take a risk on most of them being bad or not firing and having to be remade, I loaded 10 rounds. So I took these to the range this week and shot these two groups with my AR at 25 yards. I shot a .44 inch group with a best 4 out of 5 at .32, and I shot a .79 group. These oddly were stringing vertically, but my best 4 out of 5 on this group was .59. So very pleased with these two groups. I did not have a jam or a misfire, and there were no split cases. So very pleased with how this went. So if you have any ideas or thoughts about this video, please feel free to leave a comment below. Or if there's anything that you would like to see in the future, please let me know that. I always try to interact with everyone who comments. And I hope that you will like and share this with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.